Hi guys. For this presentation, we mainly talked about the pairs trading exercise. I'm Yuru, and this is my partner, Kai Xiang. So the contents would include how we chose the pairs, the time frame, the short long decision, the height ratio, the signals to enter, and the signals to exit, the benchmarking or net implication framework. So we chose the pairs Apple and Microsoft from three main aspects. So the first one is going to be their sector and industry similarities, their correlation coefficient, and their market capitalization. Let us talk about the sector and industry similarities. So both Apple and Microsoft are dominant players in the technology sectors, and I believe you have heard about these two companies. So for Apple, they're mainly famous for their like customer technologies like iPhones, macOS, and for Microsoft, they're mainly renowned for their like cloud service and like productivity apps. So they frequently move in line with each other due to their similar industry impacts. And because of their like diversified product lines, the companies are likely to be like influenced by the same macroeconomic factors, which reduces the individual industry related risk. So this is a simple plot of the two companies' closing price. So we can see that Apple and Microsoft actually like move almost in the same direction along the way through 2023. So we can see that the pair has exhibited a high positive correlation based on this year's data. So if we use the Python's pandas library, we can see it exhibited a correlation coefficient around like 0.9, which is like very high correlation. So for the market capitalization, we can see that both Apple and Microsoft are like big tech companies. So they have like very high market capitalization. And because of their high liquidity, it allows like larger positions without like significant market impact. So we chose the time frame to be 6 months because we believe that 6 month duration have like sufficient data points for like, statistical significance and it's remaining responsive to the recent market dynamics. So for the longer duration or the shorter duration, there might be like outdated information or insufficient data points. So we believed a duration of 6 months is a good balance between the responsiveness and its statistical significance. Also, for the short long decision, we first monitored the relative performance of Apple to Microsoft. And if Apple like significantly outperforms Microsoft, which causes a divergence, we can considering the shorting Apple and then going long on Microsoft. So for example, like if Apple prices goes up by like 10% and Microsoft only goes up by like 3%, we might anticipate there might be like a mean reversion. So in this case, we can like short Apple and long Microsoft. So for the hedge ratio, we used the regression analysis to calculate the beta, which ensures that the position sizes are volatility adjusted. So we look at the past year's data, we conclude that with a beta of one almost like 1.2. So for every 120 shares of Apple shorted, we buy like 100 shares of Microsoft. So we used these scores to see the signal to enters. So we first calculated the z-score for the price spread, and we decided to enter the trade when the z-score is like greater than 2, so indicating that the spread is like 2 standard deviations from the mean. So we can see from the left graph, we can see that in a normally distributed data set, so about like 95% of the data lies within the 2 standard deviations from the mean. So the threshold indicates a very significant divergence. So what about the signal to exit? So if we decide that we exit the trade when the Z scores like goes back to 0, which indicates that the spread is like going back to the mean. Also, if this is for exists free, it implies that the strategy isn't working as we anticipated, and we need to consider that we need to exit.
So we choose S&P 500 index as our benchmark. First, I think it comprises of 500 of the largest publicly traded U.S. companies. So, it represents a broad slice of investors, and they are actually highly liquid, trading on high volumes. So, this ensures that the index itself reflects liquid market and is less influenced by individual activity. And two companies we choose, Apple and Microsoft are all including the S&P 500 index, which is very important. We can choose limit orders to ensure better price execution. Although market orders might be expedient, limit orders can prevent potential slippage in volatile markets. So we can trade Apple at 150, 100, and place a limit order at 150, 149.5 for shorting. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks for listening.